Another of Devon's super sports stars also shone at the weekend. Tom Daley is a world champion as well. He won gold in the 10 metres platform event at the FINA World Diving Championships in Budapest. And our swimming correspondent and diving correspondent, David Fitzgerald, has spoken to Tom about the win, and we'll be hearing from home around 8:15. But first, what do his family and loved ones think? Fitz has been finding out.
Debbie, take me through the emotion of yesterday. Remarkable.
It was amazing. I don't even think I can explain how I was feeling. I felt like my heart was on my chest rather than in it. Absolutely superb. So proud of him.
It was an emotional moment. I think I aged watching it. Did you have any worries, any doubts?
Never any doubts. I always knew it. He had it in him, and he did it. He showed everyone how well he can do, and we are so proud.
You got me going now. Let's face it. It could have been tough. It could have been tougher. The Chinese were faltering.
Yeah, and I really think on that last round, the last dive the Chinese diver did, Chen, that he really thought he had the gold. And then when Tom did that absolute superb last dive, we were all like, yes, we know he's done it. He's there. He's world champion.
Right. Well, a tough year for you because you've also become a mother-in-law.
Yes, I have, yes.
And he stood beside you. He's actually remarkably well behaved at the moment.
He is, yes. He's under orders. When he's with me, he's got to behave.
Lance, what was the forfeit from yesterday? Because you've got to do something now.
Well, I guess 2 days before, I went to visit Tom, where the team is staying, and he was there with his diving partner Dan Goodfellow, and just really I didn't think much of it, but I said to him, hey, if you ever get gold on the world stage, that would get me to jump off the 10 meter. And then he put his hand out and turned that into a deal, and he said, deal. He wins a gold on the world stage, he becomes a world champion, I'll dive off that 10 meter. And I am so afraid of heights. I'm sweating. I'm literally, you can see it on me, can't you?
Yeah.
No, I'm sweating thinking about it. I've gone up to the 5 meter, and off the 5 meter, I have perfected quite an original dive. Yeah. It's called the Screaming 5 meter. So all the way down, pointy-toed, screaming all the way into the water. So I don't know if we get to do that in the London pool, I might blow those windows out if I jump off the 10, screaming all the way down that way. But I've made a deal. Deal's been made. Got to be a man of my word. What I think needs to happen, if we're really going to make something good of it, is that I should jump off hand in hand with Debbie Daley.
No, you'll never get me doing that.
You've never dived at all from that. Well, have you been up to the 10 meter?
I have been onto the 10 meter, but I do tend to hold on to the sides and not get too close to the edge.
Okay, so we need a proper tutor. Well, we know one. You're married to him. You're the mother of him. he can teach you. But maybe do this for charity. Try and avenge your inevitable.
I say whatever's left over after medical bills.
Yeah. Should go to some sort of charity.
Should go to some sort of charity.
But have you got a time limit? Do you know when you're going to do this?
Well, I mean, to be honest, we're heading off to our honeymoon finally. So we got married, and then we put our honeymoon on hold because he needed to stay focused, keep training. He and I are driven individuals, and his priority was making sure that he could show himself, I think, first, that he was the best in the world, that he is the best in the world. And so he's dedicated the time since our marriage, since our wedding, to that. So now we're gonna take some time and head off to a honeymoon.
Brilliant. Well, I hope there's a pool wherever you're going, so you can practice.
But when I get back, I've asked Jane. I'm not asking Tom, because Tom will want me to do flips and go in head first, and he'll make it as frightening as humanly possible for his own enjoyment. I'm hoping Jane will go easy on me. She'll be my coach.
David Fitzgerald with the questions. I'm with Lance on this, and the way that he described it, And then when Debbie said, "Oh my goodness me, I went up onto that 10 metre. Are you like me, afraid of heights? I can fly. I'm great at flying. But you get me up on something tall, high. Oh, and I'd be sweating, Lance, as well." That was fun, wasn't it? And we'll be hearing from the man himself, Tom, a little later on in the programme. And also Heather Knight, of course, our other local world champion. And another of Devon's super sports stars also shining at the weekend, Tom Daley, a world champion as well. He won gold in the 10 metres platform event, Heroes All. David Fitzgerald caught up in Budapest yesterday with Tom in an interview. I think you'll never have heard the like before with Tom Daley.
Tom, first of all, congratulations. This is a very proud moment, not just for you, but for the country, surely.
Thank you. I literally am so happy, and to think back to after Rio last year and how I was feeling at the end of last season, and just completely deflated and upset with how everything went, and now to be the complete opposite and just like filled with joy and happiness going into my time off. It's a very different season this year.
It certainly was. Just take us through those last couple of dives, because the Chinese were snapping at your ankles the whole way.
Yeah, well, normally what happens with a diving competition is that you have, if you put pressure on the Chinese, normally they falter. But we were just going like dive for dive, and like he was doing really well, and then I was being able to follow that dive right afterwards, and there was no faltering. We both dived our best, and it was such an exciting competition, especially going into the last round, because I had a 5-point cushion, but he got 10s on his last dive, so I needed at least 110 to count. So it was a very pressurized situation, but when I saw the Chinese crowd cheering, I was a bit like, if you want to play that game, then I'm here to play too.
Yeah, for some strange reason, the Chinese kept shouting at their own divers, which I think put them off.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really weird atmosphere. There was apparently there was 8,000 people there in the audience. It was really, really loud. The atmosphere was electric, and for me, it was just so much fun going out there and competing. And I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't really pay too much attention to anything other than what I was doing in dive by dive, but I just found it so much fun.
Watching your face, you were isolating yourself. You were so dedicated and so concentrating on the issue. Have you been learning a new technique? Is that taught by your dive tutor?
Well, I've been trying to just have a bit more fun with diving, because the last time I won the World Championships was 8 years ago, and I'd think back to then, and I wasn't expected to win. I was just going out there, having fun and enjoying competing, and I just had a sudden moment of, you know what, I just need to go back to enjoying it and having fun with it, and not being so panicked about the outcome, and just enjoying the process of the competition. And it kind of just made it so that I was just a lot more relaxed and at ease with everything.
Were you aware of the noise from your family and from us, and also Andy Banks, who joined us in the row? I think we were about 18 rows back, and we were all sat there absolutely gripped. But does that go through your mind that people are watching you?
I hear a lot of noise, but I don't think about who's cheering and what's happening outside, other than the just noise. Like, especially going into that last dive, the noise was just incredible. Nothing I've ever heard before going into a dive. So it was definitely an experience that I'll never forget.
Well, there's a lot of Plymouth support there, and Andy was literally sat beside me, grim-faced. But it was fantastic. You have a lot of support travelling around the world with you.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to have everyone, especially when having my mum and Lance out there as well, and you guys out there supporting it. It really means a lot, and it just makes the whole experience even better.
Well, speaking of Lance, unfortunately, he's made a rather stupid promise, hasn't he?
Yes, he did promise me that if I was to win the World Championships, he would jump off 10 metre. So that is going to be happening very soon, I am sure.
Fantastic. So what's next? I'm assuming your honeymoon now.
Yeah, so I'm off. We're going to be going off on a honeymoon soon. So I'm just waiting for Lance to get back now, because he was on a different flight to me. So yeah, I'm having time off and finally get to go on that honeymoon.
And I think he's got the medals, hasn't he?
Yes, he does have the medals. Yes, I know. So I've come home empty-handed. So he's bringing them home.
Fantastic. Well, have a great honeymoon. I'm told 2 weeks in Corsans.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that would be ideal if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, some good diving over there. You can teach.
Yeah, true.
You can teach Lance to dive. Tom,
Exactly.
congratulations once again. Fantastic. And can I just say, Tom Daley, world champion.
Oh, thank you. Doesn't that sound so good?
He sounds so happy as well, rightly so. Tom Daley with David Fitzgerald.